The rack, a place where only the strongest survive, where drakes and switches are used as weapons of choice. There's one name that gets talked about: Action Savage, the rapper that shot Bosstop. This is the story of why drill rappers are scared of Action Savage, the blood that runs cold. Action Savage's terror begins with something most drill rappers only pretend to have: actual survival instincts. Getting shot once in Chicago's streets may sound as a wake-up call for anyone to switch up their lifestyle. Imagine getting shot twice. It's either you're extremely unlucky or running with the wrong gang. Still, allegedly surviving multiple shootings in a short time span is insane, and Action Savage definitely hacked it. The whole thing popped off on July 4th, 2022, right in the heart of O Block, Parkway Gardens, a zone that's known for real pressure, not internet smoke. Word on the streets is that Action Savage got into it heavy that day and let off shots at Bosstop, one of O Block's main voices. But it wasn't just a one-sided drill. Savage got hit too. Reports have been flying that he took one with the bullet going in through his eye and coming out his mouth. Crazy injury, but somehow he stayed up. That alone had folks spooked. A hit like that would have folded most people, but Savage bounced back. Drill rappers who have never caught bullets definitely fear someone who treats gunshot wounds like his 9-to-5 job. Savage's Insta posts after each shooting showed almost no signs of trauma or second thoughts about his lifestyle. So yeah, the more bullets he got, the more confident and stronger he was. Today, Action Savage is particularly feared because of his ability to clap back after every these incidents. Unlike passive gangs who simply endure attacks and move on or raise their white flags, Action Savage, right after he left the medic, would go out for a revenge shootout. In other words, if anyone plans on cooking him, he or she must prepare for to be cooked as well. To think about it, the fact that he got so many assassination attempts says he's got multiple gangs seeing him as a big threat to everything. Like, let's be real, 3 assassinating attempts in 1 month is just really wild. And to think that he survived all, that's just sick. When legends become targets. Action. Savage's aura farming got legendary when he decided to directly step to Bosstop, one of O Block's most respected leaders. The incident that inspired his Computer's remix bars wasn't just another street altercation with guns and stuff. It was a public show that even the big gang lord could get smoked when they overstepped boundaries with Savage. According to Action Savage account during his DJU interview, the meet and shoot began when Bosstop pointed a blick at him during the July 2022 shooting. Rather than backing down like most people would when facing an armed O Block leader, Action Savage peeped the situation and noticed Bosstop's hesitation. For real, it was clear that Bosstop was scared to shoot, so he grabbed Bosstop's gun. Savage rapped about this in the lyrics of his diss track Computers, where he said, "Bosstop fronting his shit, I took his pipe and clapped him." Action Savage's description of the whole incident at a DJU TV interview revealed some crazy warfare. This was what he had to say.
He up the pipe type shit. He up the pipe. He had that bitch pointed at me type shit. I'm looking at the pipe type shit. He just looking at me though type shit. Like, I ain't got no jewelry on. None of that shit. Like, cause it be rumors and shit talking about he tried to rob me or he took some shit from me. Like, ain't nobody ever took shit from me. Like, I ain't ever got robbed before. Like, I ain't ever got jumped on. Like, none of that shit. Bro, he out the blick, he just pointing that bitch at me type shit. I'm looking at that bitch. He just talking though. So I'm just looking at that bitch. I look up, shit. Shots got fired, and then, but not from me though. I'm just right there. He got the pipe in my face, and when the shots was getting let off, he just looking all crazy. I just like, oh man, he ain't on shit. He ain't on shit with that bitch. I grab that bitch like this. He get to trying to move. Now he trying to force, like, put that bitch in my face. I'm moving that bitch back and forth type shit.
Peeped Bosstop's body language, strap's condition, and the overall deal before making his move. That probably explains how and why he survived every bullet that would have normally left him dead in his own blood. Most people freeze when guns get pointed at them. Action Savage does his homework. Here's where it gets crazy. The subsequent wrestling match over the gun was more or less one of the wildest things that would happen to Savage in that warfare. Right after he grabbed the gun, he got shot.
And I had got shot type shit. I got shot like right after that type shit. Like a month, like I got a motherfucker still on top of me type shit. Like I'm looking at the top of the gun, like a motherfucker wasn't even gonna shoot me for real, until I reacted, and then a motherfucker shot me in my leg and shit, like, and took off running type shit. Then I tried to get to the car, look up, shit. Blood, no lack was there. On CJ Drake was there.
However, let's not forget that this was just Savage's side of the story. Now, here's what Bosstop had to say about the whole case.
That you pulled the gun on him. He took the gun from you and shot you. And he did a whole interview about this. He had a whole lyric and a song about it.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people want to know your thoughts on this alleged scenario.
I mean, I feel like shit, you know, people, I guess, this the clout they want, I guess, to get the views. But if he making music and he got stories like that, I think he need to write urban novels. I think he need to just write books. He'll be a good author. He got imagination, like that's imagination. And why would you even like, even if it was 10th true, why would you even say that?
Yeah,
to the world.
That is kind of weird.
While we can't quite say why Bosstop denied all of Savage's talk and even mentioned that he didn't need to say stuff like that on a broadcast, the denial of knowing him, Savage, only amplified the Savage's already large gang name. Like, think about the whole stuff. If Action Savage wasn't bluffing, then Bosstop was only hiding how sick a coward he is. Even if Bosstop has this cold, low-tone voice, the fact that he denies knowing Action Savage alone says a lot. Is he trying to hide his embarrassment? Is he hiding from Savage? To be real honest, the whole denial strategy pulled off by Bosstop backfired, as it made him look weak while making Action Savage look like the real street boss. By acting like nothing happened, he basically made it clear that Action Savage had gotten real deep under his skin, enough to make him hide every detail about their class. Action Savage's willingness to publicly rap about the whole incident in his Computers remix only showed that he was one another level of fearlessness and disrespect. He really turned his confrontation into music material, showing zero concern about whatever Bosstop wanted to pull off against him, whether in the story or on the streets. And meanwhile, this was also him sending out a warning to others about what happens when they attempt to intimidate him. Of course, they'll be waiting bullets on him. By broadcasting Bosstop's failed attempt at bloodshedding him, Action Savage made it very clear that challenging him would definitely hit you with embarrassment so heavy you'll be shamed off in every interview. The sound of fear. You know, there's a lot to Savage's Computers remix than just bullshitting Bosstop. The remix was more of a documentary evidence of his willingness to get into a physical clutch with real big gang bosses without twice about losing a limb or an eye. His choice to use the classic Rowdy Rebel and Bobby Shmurda beat was another whole significance beyond simple musical preference. While other artists like FBG Wooski have used the Computers beat for diss tracks, it's unclear if Action Savage chose it for that same reason or just as a popular drill instrumental. But let's just put it in simple words. Action Savage's track was fire. By choosing a beat that has been used for disrespecting O Block and its members, Action Savage just blew real hot against the Chicago gang. The specific lyrics referencing Bosstop fronting his move before Action Savage took his pipe and clapped him back served multiple purposes beyond simple flexing. The detailed description provided insider knowledge that only someone present during the incident would possess, lending credibility to his account while simultaneously embarrassing one of O Block's key figures through public exposure of vulnerability. Action Savage's approach differed from typical drill disses because he focused on exposing weakness rather than threatening future smoke. By describing Bosstop's hesitation and subsequent retreat, he painted a picture of incompetence that damaged reps more effectively than threats. This tactical approach showed understanding that public humiliation often impacts targets more than physical threats. Action Savage didn't raise his voice or bark threats. Instead, he kept it calm and steady, like someone who's been through it already. That relaxed tone made the message hit harder. He wasn't trying to prove anything. He sounded like someone who already handled business. That type of delivery always cuts deeper because it feels real, not performed. The way he spoke left room for what he didn't say. It was like, I'm giving you this now, but I've got way more if I feel like dropping it. That kind of silence carries weight. When you know someone has more details but chooses to hold back, it builds tension. Ops start guessing what's next. That pressure lingers because nobody knows what story he's keeping in the vault. The drill scene noticed. After that track dropped, the response was quiet, but not because it flopped. The silence spoke loud. A lot of rappers chose not to respond directly, and that said everything. They knew responding might pull them into something worse. If Action Savage decided to keep going, he might expose something they never wanted public. The risk was too high. Some rappers, real names with real followings, started backing off, not because they lacked bars, but because they understood the kind of problems Savage brings when he puts someone in a verse. His disses weren't just noise. They came with paperwork energy, things people didn't want on record. That kind of unpredictability had artists stepping carefully. When Reddit users talked about his Computers remix, they had a lot to say. One of them commented this way: "That's snaky as hell, cause I remember this dude just randomly started hanging with everybody from Block out of nowhere, especially with E-Dog. And after that shooting, I never seen him again. IDK, how TF they even let him get that close." He was basically calling Action Savage a snake. Another user said these words: "If anything, all they need to practice, both sides got shot by each other and both sides still alive, and what's crazy is they was cool SMH." Outside of the Computers remix, his full catalog follows the same playbook. He doesn't rap for streams, he raps what he lives. Each song ties back to something real, and people in the city know it. His music connects to real incidents, things that happened in the streets. That consistency builds trust with fans and fear among ops. When he raps, you're not hearing a character. You're hearing someone who's really been outside, and that's why people take him seriously. His calm delivery, strategic silence, and street-coded lyrics created more than just music. It created a warning, and in drill, that might be more powerful than anything shouted over a beat. Bloodbath's feud with Block. Action Savage's involvement in the territorial beef over the Bloodbath name showed another reason why drill rappers stepped careful around him. The smoke wasn't just about naming rights, it was challenging Block's cultural authority and their ability to control stories about their own identity. According to Shoebox Baby's explanation to 16 Shot M, the Bloodbath term started within Block's hood as internal slang before getting picked up by ghoulie gang members who used to be around them. Action Savage's crew's decision to claim ownership of the term and use it heavy in their music was straight cultural warfare that needed a response according to street politics. The appropriation wasn't no accident or coincidence. It was strategic cultural drilling designed to undermine Block's brand identity while building ghoulie gang's reputation. Action Savage peeped that controlling terminology provides psychological advantages because it forces original users to either accept getting finessed or engage in public disputes that often make them look defensive. There were rumors that Chucky rose to prominence under Lil Durk's OTF label while repping Bloodbath, and that this created additional complications that Action Savage navigated strategically. It meant that rather than directly going at Durk's artist, Action Savage positioned himself as defender of authentic street culture against manufactured personas. This approach allowed him to maintain his aggressive stance while avoiding unnecessary smoke with powerful industry figures. Action Savage moved smart. The way he played it showed this wasn't just some short-fused street beef, it was chess. Instead of going straight at Chucky on a personal tip, he flipped the convo to real versus fake, making it about authenticity. That shift gave him the upper hand, because now he wasn't just dissing, he was standing on principle. By making it a question of who's valid in the streets, he kept his crew clean in the eyes of fans and sidestepped any labels that could have messed up future bags. Things really heated up when ghoulie gangs started calling themselves the real Bloodbath, throwing shade at Block's old claim to that name. Action backed that fully. That move turned it from just physical pressure to full-on culture war. This wasn't about catching one or two ops lacking. This was about claiming a whole identity. In drill, name stealing is deeper than just internet trolling. When you grab a title like Bloodbath, you're saying you lived through what others only rap about. You're claiming stripes. And if that history isn't yours, there's usually blood behind the backlash. The wild part is, when Action Savage pushed that line, people actually believed him. That means his rep is solid enough to make even stolen names feel official. Block's reaction told the whole story. They started throwing dirt, calling ghoulie gangs swag jackers and actors, saying they were running with styles they didn't build. But the fact that Block even responded showed pressure. That level of reaction from a major set means Action's crew shook something real. That response also showed who had momentum. In the streets, whoever controls the narrative usually controls the tempo. By making Block respond instead of lead, Action flipped the usual power balance. His crew wasn't chasing clout, they were taking territory, one move at a time. What makes this situation even more layered is Action's old ties to Block. He's not some outsider barking at the gates. There have been unverified claims from fans that he appeared in early drill music videos, including 30 Chopper's music video that featured Bosstop and Lil Durk. If this is true, it makes Action Savage's story crazier. It means he's applying pressure from the outside. It's clear he's not afraid to turn what he learned on them. That's a major reason why Block started watching him differently. He's not just another loudmouth. He knows the structure. That kind of inside knowledge mixed with confidence, that's what turns threats into real problems. Even with the beef active, Action still moves through their zones like he's bulletproof. He doesn't play the background or duck from pressure. Whether it's confidence or a setup, he's showing face in areas most people wouldn't step in without serious backup. That's either a crazy bluff or a smart provocation. Either way, he's moving boldly. This isn't just a hood-to-hood issue anymore. What Action's doing challenges the idea that certain crews crews are untouchable. The fact that O-Block even had to defend their history shows the shakeup is real. He's showing everyone that status doesn't lock you in forever. Other rappers are watching this play out too. The message is clear. If you're bold enough, you can press the top dogs. That energy is spreading. It's making gatekeepers nervous and giving hungry young heads new ideas. The problem for O-Block and anyone else trying to hold position is this. Action doesn't move like someone who respects lines. If he feels disrespected or boxed in, he pushes back. He's not the type to bow out when the heat rises. He keeps stepping, sometimes further than the ops are ready for. He's already shown that he doesn't freeze up under pressure. When the room gets tense, he doubles down. He leans into the smoke instead of stepping away. That unpredictability is what makes him dangerous. You can't scare someone who's already ready to crash out behind what he believes in. If you like this video, click one of the windows on either side to watch a video similar to this one.